There are powers on Earth too hidden to be seen, and conspiracies too vast to comprehend. For years, the world has seen fact distorted, reality manipulated, and the truth concealed. Join the Pierre Sebac podcast to uncover the real meanings behind ancient aliens and their symbolism.
Hi, this is Pierre Sebac, unlocking the keys to the mysteries. Now, in my last video I talked about the Deciperates, the disciples who service the lie. The Decipherati are the deceivers, and I think that the Deciperates is a very good subject and a very interesting subject, and it very much interlinks with the Demiurge, who is known in Gnostic symbolism as the builder. So we're going to look at this idea of the construct which has been subverted through the builder. Now, the Greek word demiurge, or in the Greek demiurgos, comes from the etymology of demos, which means people, and ergos, which is working. In short, the public craftsman. Now, we can see the demiurge, it connotes the genetic engineer of mankind. So in other words, he is the workman or the builder who created mankind. Now, within the Semitic languages, the word builder is used within the occult to denote an angel. And again, the etymology of to speak relates to the etymology of a construct. In the same way as in English, we'll have an intellectual construct. And the same is also found in the Semitic languages between the idea of a construct and between the spoken word. And therefore, the builders are seen to be not only genetic engineers of mankind, but they are also the social engineers of mankind. And so the demiurge it relates to the construct. The construct in this respect is the genetic and social engineer of mankind. Now, within Gnostic traditions, he is responsible for the creation of the universe, and we can understand this as really being in particular, he's the maker or the creator of the world of form. And again, the idea of form is more in this respect to do with the idea of perception, how things are perceived, and the relationship between that which is perceived and actuality, and that which is created or formalized or created into form. Now, this is very much a universal theme, and the demiurge in Masonic symbolism, he appears as the architect. So the other word for the demiurge is the architect, and the architect is a builder, one who is angelic. Now, this is a mysterious being, and he's in Masonic symbolism, he can be personified as the fallen angel Lucifer. Lucifer, lux fer in the Latin, is the light bringer, and the light bringer again is going back into the symbolism of the Illuminati. The deconstruction of the symbols of the Illuminati is referred to as Illuminatics. Now, the demiurge, therefore, he is subordinate to God. And by God, I'm talking about here as absolute reality, the absolute, that which is supreme, the ultimate, the infinite, the eternal. Okay? So, although the demiurge shapes the construction of material reality, and again, he shapes the construct, this reality is very much inferior, and it is the spiritual realm is eternal, whereas is infinite, whereas the material realm is finite. Now, according to Plato's Timaeus, the demiurge, he arranges the physical world from pre-existing materials of chaos, which is the substance of matter. And this is really important to emphasize, because the daemons, they engineer form, and in the Gnostic traditions, they are the builders of form. They planted humanity on the earth, and this is known as panspermia, which in the Quranic tradition is the second creation. This is the planting of mankind upon the earth. So within Gnosticism from the early Christian era, the Demiurge is very much regarded as an inferior deity. He's a lesser being, and he's a daemon who is subordinate to the absolute or the ultimate. Now, the absolute is the manifestation of the aeon, which is the holographic universe, and the aeon is the spirit in which the spirit is materialized in form, which is the fragmentation of it's the representation or the emanation of God into physical form. Now, the Demiurge is a lesser being, and he created the imperfect or the temporal world. Now, the temporal world is related to error or death, and this in Greek is again related to the etymologies, because the word of truth in Greek means to remember, but this is really remembering the soul pattern, remembering that one is eternal and is therefore and therefore truth relates to the facility to be able to bypass death in order to drink from the waters of remembrance. So death is related to error, because error is through a lack of not being able to remember. Now, in many respects, we can say that this is apocalyptic in tone. Now, the Demiurge is very much antagonistic to that which is purely spiritual, and he belongs to the forces of evil. Again, if we wanted to say, the Demiurge in many respects can be linked into the dialectic. In this respect, the dialectic would be the dialectic between good and evil. And within the Gnostic school, the Demiurge, or the public craftsman, he only has the ability to copy life, from which the Adamic man is an adaptation of the proto-human. And as I've said before, the proto-human in this respect refers to the human angelic tradition, which refers to the proto-humans or the cherubim. And the fall of Adam is related to the corruption of the anthropos. Now, within I've talked about in other videos the anthropos. The anthropos are three beings. Again, they relate to the tripartite or the tripartite Illuminati, the three orders of the Illuminati, which are human, non-human, and grafted. And the anthropos was corrupted. So originally the anthropos, or the human form, was corrupted by the angels. In this respect, was corrupted by the public craftsman, the Demiurge, the genetic engineer, who planted or seeded the Adamic man. So the Demiurge seeded the Adamic man, and this is referred to as the second creation. It is distinct from the first creation, or the materialization of the aeon, the materialization or manifestation of matter from the supreme mind of God. Sometimes, again, within Gnostic thinking, this is represented as the eye of God. Again, it's very interesting, but in the Greek, the word kor, which means virgin, has this connotation. It means the universe, and so again, the pupil in English is polymorphic. It means a student, but in the Greek, the word pupil and universe is closely related, and again, kor means a virgin. So the virgin and the universe are interrelated within Gnostic philosophy. So the Demiurge is a genetic engineer. He seeded mankind upon the earth, which is the second creation, which is distinct from the first creation. And he is also identified with the mechanical process of directed panspermia, which is the planting of humanity upon the face of the earth. So that's basically the function of the Demiurge. Is this angelic being who seeded mankind. Okay, if you've enjoyed this video, and if you like the video, then please give this a thumbs up. Thank you very much. This is Pierre Sabac. Let's try and make this a better world. Thank you very much.